What's up, guys? Tonight we are doing shrimp with lobster, but first things first, I need tea. Got some hot water here and some green tea that I got with a coupon for $1. So that's cool, right? A dollar for tea? That's not bad. We have some jasmine rice here that we're gonna wash tonight because jasmine rice tends to go really well with Chinese food, and it's just what I think of when I think of these types of dishes. So have a little bit of jasmine rice here. Obviously, I haven't been able to go to the store yet. If you've been following along, kind of waiting on the whole car thing to be resolved. No real answers yet, but we still have enough rice for tonight. Gonna use that and put that away, and then do our little wash in the separate bowl because you're not supposed to wash in your rice cooker. Something about the nonstick and the rice itself scratching up the bowl, which I guess it makes sense. Yeah, but anything to try to be a little bit more healthy. It's impossible these days, but we're gonna try. So we washed off all the starch, and we're gonna just go flick those grains in there. Just because they're sticking to the bowl, and there's no graceful way really to do this. I'm excited because this is kind of my weekend, enjoying my day off, so to speak. Took it easy today, so obviously looking a little bit more comfy than I normally am, but not too bad. We're gonna add 1 cup of water and a splash more to the rice. I have this shrimp, frozen shrimp that I'm using. It's called Gulf shrimp, wild caught Gulf shrimp, but I'm using this one specifically because it doesn't have a certain preservative in it. I can't even talk. It's called sodium tryptophan, triphosphate, something like that. I'm making stuff up now, but there's some sort of a preservative that makes it taste too salty. So we're gonna let that defrost in the sink under cold water while we take out the world's most sad green onions ever and give them a little rinse through. And we're gonna grab also our other aromatics. I've got some sad looking ginger and some actually decent garlic, but we're gonna give this green onions a little cleanup and cut off the roots and take off all the little slimy bits. It's getting down to the wire here, and I don't really have much in terms of fresh groceries right now. These green onions are about as green as it's gonna get from the fridge. I have some frozen veggies set aside, but it's feeling kind of sad right now. But somebody did mention in the last video that they enjoy the close-up shots of the food, so here's my attempt to get you guys up close and personal. Let me know if this is working for you guys. I can try to do more shots like this. I'm doing the whole, work it out, trial through error, make your mistakes in neon sort of tactic until we figure it out. But yeah, we've got our green onion chopped here. We're going to put it away in the bowl and get ready for our next aromatic. Kind of doing a little bit more cuts here too for you guys. I noticed that sometimes like this POV cooking can get a little bit long, and since I am talking quite a bit through these, the ones that I'm talking through like this, I think I'm going to just have to do a little bit more on the editing side. Specifically just because in the background I can't use the audio that's happening while a certain best friend is working. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more editing, but hopefully you guys understand and you're okay with it. We have our ginger here that I'm shaving off quite a bit on these gingers, only because they are extremely sad looking, but I just need it for the flavor and the taste, so it's fine. We're gonna chop this up, give it a nice little dicey dice, and then it'll be good. I saw a video though about this guy who had his ginger and he cut it up and he's like, treat it like wood, and he like smacked it with his knife while it was underneath some plastic cling wrap, and it completely like emaciated it. I'm sorry guys, it's late at night. I'm trying to record this so that I'm still in the right mindset to get it out. But yeah, if I let it go too far, I completely forget what I'm saying. So please excuse my little bit of a rambling. Anyways, dicing up this ginger, we got a beautiful little close-up shot, and then we're gonna peel our garlic. We're gonna through this, but first, guys, I want to say thank you so much for all of the support in the comments. It really does help, and it lets me know what's working, what's not working, and gives me kind of a direction on what type of editing style or what type of changes I need to make. So thank you guys so much. But back to what we're doing here. We peeled off some garlic. We're gonna trim off the tips because that's what I was told to do, is just trim the tip a little bit, and then yeah, you know, it's fine. But but anyways, we have our garlic. We're gonna actually, this time I was like, you know, I have this tool, it's probably meant to be used, let's just use it, why not? So we're actually gonna take out our garlic press. This is my garlic press, by the way. I had one of those little squeezy ones, kind of like a citrus squeezer one, but I was like, that thing sucks. It's impossible to clean. This one's a little bit easier to clean because it is like a flat surface. Mind you, the garlic still gets stuck in the holes, so I'm going to have to like smoosh it out, but it's doing work, and I'm trying to be a little bit quicker with cooking. So yeah, that's not bad, right? That's pretty good. It definitely presses it out. You just kind of have to shave it off of the press itself afterwards. But not a bad situation. We have garlic, ginger, and let's put that aside so that we can finish cleaning our shrimp as well. If you guys see me talking or laughing at all in these videos, it is because I'm responding to Mix while he's streaming. But yeah, I'm just gonna put both of these together as well inside the in my little dish here, just because I'm gonna throw them in at the same time most likely, so it's not a big deal in terms of my aromatics. Got a paper towel and our beautiful defrosted shrimp, and we're gonna do our best to clean them. My process for these was I just peeled off the shells because I didn't need those for the dish. And I'm actually going to take off the tails too, simply because if I don't, I'm going to end up having to take them off anyways, because usually when I give Mix his food, he's still working, and eating around a tail is just not the most convenient. So we're going to clean out the little poopy vein and make sure that's all freshened up, and then I'll actually go back to the sink and wash these out just in case. But these actually cleaned really, really well, and they didn't have a lot of that, we'll call it dirt. They didn't have a lot of that dirt in them, so I was actually really happy with the way they were cleaning out. There's also this blue vein down here. I'm not sure. I just take them all out. So little time lapse here. And we have got our pile of shells, and we've got our shrimpies. So those are all cleaned off and they're dry. I'm going to put those in the fridge and let them just rest while we get the rest of our stuff going, because we need to start up our wok. So anyways, heading over to, oh, and we have ground pork too. I completely forgot about this. This is the ground pork that I asked the guy at the meat counter if he could grind up for me, because I didn't really want the full amount. I'm only going to use maybe half of this for my recipe, because I want to save the other half for dumplings later on whenever I get up to doing it. I don't know. But heating up our wok, we have our avocado oil here as well, and once again our horrible electric stove. Nice close-up shot though for you guys on this here, since there's really nothing else going on for the rest of the stove. But man, this camera looks pretty good, right? Anyways, throwing in our aromatics, we've got the ginger and the garlic here. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna stir fry those a little bit in the pan just to kind of get them opened up before we add in the rest of our proteins here. Guys, I am so loopy. It is late at night. I'm normally in bed by now, but I'm up here talking to you guys because I need to finish cooking this stuff, and you guys are hanging out with me. So we're going to go through this. This is my little bit of ground pork. I'm going to try to break it up as best as I can with my hashi, my chopsticks. I will fully admit that I don't know if I had my wok up high enough in heat, and I probably should have used something like a spoon, but in the moment, it seemed like a good idea. If you guys are trying to follow along with my recipe, just use a spoon. Use high heat. It's okay. Life will be better if you just do that. But ground pork for the flavor. This is actually really, really lean pork, which I'm so happy about because sometimes ground pork can be quite fatty, and while it tastes really good, and this is for the flavor completely, I know that if I serve it to mix that, because he doesn't have a gallbladder, fatty foods just don't work out, which is crazy, but yeah, they just don't work out. Little things that I've learned, and I'm actually quite okay with not having all the extra fattiness with it. There's no problem here. I'm completely content with that. But making sure the pork is cooked, seasoning everything up basically with the ginger, the garlic, and the ground pork in the wok. And we have some cornstarch here. What we're going to do for this is we end up making a cornstarch slurry, which is cornstarch plus water, and then I put a little bit of my sesame oil in that as well. But we've got our beautiful shrimp here ready to go. I took them out from the fridge so that they are ready to get tossed in. Enjoy my little wok skills. Hopefully I don't throw anything on the stove because I've done that before. But give those shrimp a little tossy toss here. I should probably get a bigger wok if I'm being honest. But to that effect, I'm feeling a little poor these days, so we're gonna work with what we have. We have some chicken broth though, so we're gonna use that. And since our shrimp is just about cooked all the way through, I want to add the chicken broth in, let that heat up. That's gonna be the base for our sauce. It's got the aromatics with the ginger and the garlic, and everything's kind of just melding together really well. A little bit of shoyu, soy sauce, and my janitor's hanging out in the background, and then some white pepper. Something about white pepper just is magical. This grinder is just not the best grinder because it is totally flicking pepper all over the stove, but it's okay. I'm doing my best to clean every single day after in between or before, and try to wipe everything down. You never notice how crazy the kitchen gets until you're looking at it under a microscope in post. So getting all those flavors combined, just heating it up, it's starting to get a little bit on the hot side now, so you can see it's bubbling. Oh man, this is gonna be a crazy video. We've mixed up our cornstarch though with our sesame oil and the water. I put the oil in there just because I can, and it's one less thing that I have to do. So you guys don't actually get to see the bottle, but it's in there. But we have sesame oil, we have our shrimp with no lobster sauce yet, but with sauce forming soon. Hanging out there. We're going to crack an egg, which is, in this economy, an egg. I know, right? But that's the lobster part of the lobster sauce. That's actually what makes it look the way that it does. It doesn't actually contain lobster. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that until I looked up a recipe and I saw, oh my goodness, this is pretty simple. You can make it totally without the ground pork too, which is really good. I've done that a ton of times, but I have this ground pork, so we're going to use it. And after you stir up your egg, you're going to try to carefully pour it in. It kind of just did what it's going to do, so that's okay too. And careful not to break up the little ribbons in there. This is similar to when you make egg drop soup or cornflower soup, if you've heard of that before, or hot and sour soup where they've got the egg in it. It's the same way. Get really, really hot liquid, pour in the egg, and it makes these beautiful ribbons. And then we'll finish it off with the cornstarch, which is going to thicken up the sauce and make it into that nice kind of glazy, thick, nummy sauce that you're probably more reminiscent of. And finally, a little bit of green peas, because what's shrimp with lobster sauce without some green peas? So final little element to that. I probably didn't need to add as many peas, but this is at home and you can make it however you want, and I like peas, so we're adding lots of peas. Finishing this off, we're going to get our rice, which is finished cooking, and give us a nice beautiful serving in our plate here. I did pick out my plates that have a little bit of a rim because the sauce will totally run off your plate if you're not careful, and I like to have a lot of sauce, so putting our rice on our plate as carefully as possible. Look how steamy it is. Ooh, jasmine rice smells so good too. So I did make a little bit more than what I would normally make because late at night I can have an extra plate for Mix to enjoy. But kind of smushing it on the side and trying not to make a mess, but totally gonna make a mess on the counter anyways, and that's okay. But grabbing our final little bits, pouring in our beautiful shrimp with lobster sauce. Oh my goodness, I love shrimp. It's a good source of protein. Probably shouldn't go without the rice for myself just because, you know, I'm trying to cut back, but who cares? Who cares right now? I'm going to enjoy my food and give you guys a nice little look here as we pour that in. Appreciate you guys hanging out though. Please make sure to let me know what's your thoughts on the videos, and I'll catch you guys around next time. See you later. Bye.